Thank you and good morning. On behalf of the more than 13,000 staff here at Nationwide Children's Hospital, who work every day to make life better for children all around the world, Megan and I thank you for being with us today, and Megan, thank you for being up here with me. As you know, we are gathered to dedicate this new Big Lots Behavioral Health Pavilion, kicking off 4 days of celebrations, national conferences, and open houses. We will learn what's possible in pediatric mental health when a community comes together. We thought the most important way to start today's program was to hear from someone who knows this work best and who tells her story best. Everyone, please welcome Megan Saunders.
Good morning. My name is Megan Saunders, and I'm a freshman at Ohio University studying biology and pre-medicine. During my freshman year in high school, I was repeatedly sexually assaulted and emotionally abused by a boy I was dating. I had already gone through struggles with depression, so when high school hit and my assaults began, I started spiraling. I started to self-harm and think about suicide nightly. My life was a nightmare. I eventually realized what was happening in my relationship, and I got out. I told my parents about the assault and that I needed help. My mother and I went to post-trauma counseling, and I started down the road to recovery. Eventually, my journey brought me to Nationwide Children's, where I started therapy to understand the trauma I had gone through and how to talk about it. I learned how to cope and set myself up for success and healthy relationships in the future. My family became my biggest support system, and I am only okay now because of the help I received. I will always have to put effort into being okay, but that also means I can look back and see how much I have overcome. I know that there is always a chance for a better day, and I want to use my voice so that more young people realize that as well. We all deserve to be healthy and happy. We all deserve help and support. We all deserve people and places to help us heal and recover. Thank you to everyone that has helped me along my journey.
Megan, we are so proud of you, your courage, and for helping to break stigmas. Another round of applause for Megan, please. The care and support that Megan received came from the incredibly talented behavioral health team here at Nationwide Children's Hospital. I'd like to ask them to please stand and be recognized. I'm going to say this a few times today, but indeed, if not for all of you, this would not be possible. Just as we have an incredible team here at Nationwide Children's, community behavioral health providers are an important part in this endeavor. May I ask all of you to stand and be recognized. If not for you, this would not be possible. Since our founding 128 years ago, our great partnership with elected officials has always been essential to our ability to deliver on our mission. We are fortunate enough to have Governor Mike DeWine and First Lady Fran DeWine, along with Mayor Genther, and many distinguished elected officials that are on the screen behind me. Would you all please stand to be recognized? Thanks again to all of you. While we are blessed with incredible public service leaders, it's time to recognize our own leadership. This project began because of the visionary leadership and courage of our hospital board and our retired CEO, Dr. Steve Allen. We're grateful to them, the hospital senior leadership team, and the volunteer board leaders of the Abigail Wexner Research Institute, the Nationwide Children's Foundation, and the Center for Family Safety and Healing. Would all of you please stand to be recognized? Indeed, without each of you, this certainly would not be possible. And I'd be remiss if I didn't also thank NBBJ Turner, Architects Plus, and all the design and construction partners. Thank you. And that is about how fast Patty made them work. The new services and facilities we're celebrating today are part of a broader vision that we saw take shape 12 years ago with the renaming of the hospital. This was made possible by the generosity of Nationwide. Thank you, Kurt Walker, the Nationwide leadership team, for your continuous generosity for supporting children everywhere. Thank you. If not for you and thousands of Nationwide employees, this would not be possible. So that brings us to today. It takes big partners to do big things, and in this pavilion, we have been blessed with the amazing partner in Big Lots. In 2016, Big Lots stacked hands with Nationwide Children's and made a $50 million transformational gift, which set this pavilion in motion. Make no mistake, as they set to transform retail across the country, they are also transforming minds about what it means to be a leader on behavioral health. On behalf of Nationwide Children's, the children and families whose lives will be lifted up by the Big Lots Behavioral Health Pavilion, thank you, Bruce Thorne. Thank you, Big Lots, for your leadership. Will Bruce and the Big Lots team please stand to be recognized? As you can see, we are fortunate to have a community that believes in the importance of behavioral health, which is important because, as Megan's story illustrates for all of us, the behavioral health journey is difficult. It can take time, and it has its ups and downs. Supporting young people and their families living with behavioral health challenges and transforming how their care is provided is the central mission of the Big Lots Behavioral Health Pavilion. When the pavilion opens, it'll be the first of its kind, the largest behavioral health care and research campus center on a pediatric campus. That means that the next Megan will have an experience that isn't found anywhere else in the country. The pavilion is not existing space that's been retrofitted or rearranged. It's purpose-built, designed with intention and thought in order to meet the unique needs of behavioral health in a healing and hopeful way. It is large with room to grow in order to respond to our community's needs in partnership with other providers in Central Ohio. It has the complete ability to care for kids in crisis, and it is visible. Behavioral health can no longer be tucked away in the corner. It must be brought forward and raised up if we are to help those in need. So we built the pavilion front and center on our campus in the middle of Columbus on one of the busiest interstates in the US. It's filled with light, and its vertical design points to the sky. All of the Megans who will benefit from this facility and its approach are our children, our neighbors, and our grandchildren. Their physical and mental well-being are our responsibility and deserve equal support. We will have more capacity to care for more kids, the ability to deliver care that in ways that are expressly designed for their needs, and we will do it in ways that break stigmas and barriers so healing can spread. That's the Big Lots Behavioral Health Pavilion. It's admittedly a little audacious, but we are fortunate enough to have a board chair who's no stranger to thinking big. Please join me in welcoming Alex Fisher.
You know, when the legendary Dr. Steve Allen announced that he was going to retire, our board of directors had a real gut check. After amazing growth that took us from a hospital that wasn't ranked to now one of the best pediatric institutions, we had to say, where will the next leadership come from? And we got on airplanes and we went all over the country and we talked to some of the best hospitals, we talked to some of the best leadership, and we kept coming back home and scratching our head, thinking about Tim Robinson. And we'd get back on another airplane and we would go back out and we'd have another conversation with a world leader, and we came back home. And there was a wonderful moment in which I stood on another stage and I said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to the new CEO of Nationwide Children's Hospital. And is it any surprise that we found that individual here at home, a person who's been partnering with us. Tim Robinson is an absolutely amazing leader. Tim, thank you, and to your wife, Jane, for all that you all are doing. Tim is just one example of the amazing men and women of this institution that are making things happen for children everywhere. I am grateful every day for the work that they do. Governor Mike DeWine, I'm grateful for you and the work that you and Fran are doing. You not only have a great depth of leadership, but you have an amazing heart for children. I can't count the number of times that you've been here on our campus in the last year. And every time that you come, Fran DeWine is by your side. In the United States Senate as Attorney General and now as Governor, you have been an unwavering and consistent voice for those who cannot speak for themselves. Thank you for being here. You know, just like with Steve Allen, big things don't happen if you're not standing on the shoulders of others. John Kasich, for 8 years, you served this state as well as anyone in the country. You made us proud. We stand on your shoulders. You and Steve got this started. We acknowledge your amazing leadership as governor, the voice that you've had in our country, and we appreciate you being here. I know both our governors know what an amazing place this is, but let me just take you down a few stats. We are the second largest pediatric hospital in the country. We are consistently recognized as America's top 10 children's hospital by U.S. News. And the Abigail Wexner Research Institute is one of the top 10 recipients of NIH grants. Last year, through our doors, we saw 1.5 million patients come onto this campus from every single state in the country, from 45 different countries. I could go on, but you get the point. This hospital, this center of excellence, is one of the world's great assets for pediatric healthcare and research. And we are lucky to have it right here in Columbus and in the state of Ohio. It takes big institutions to take on big challenges and set aspirations, and that is what we are celebrating today. Mental health is quite simply, perhaps, one of the biggest challenges that is facing our country. I'm fortunate I have 3 healthy children. Lori and I thank ourselves every night that we don't have some of the challenges that get treated here. But if I told you our daughter, who's a junior at Emory, had cancer or a heart problem, you'd give me a big hug. You'd cry with me. You would give me the support that we needed. But God forbid if I told you she was bipolar or experiencing depression, there might be an awkward silence. Megan, you're helping us to break that awkward silence. Our aspiration is to replace those silences with hugs, and not just here in Columbus, but all over this country, in fact, all over the world. Bipolar, schizophrenia, depression, suicide, these mental illnesses are really scary words. But just like cancer or heart defects, neuromuscular disorders, they're not choices, these are diseases. And like all diseases, we are committed to fighting them and fighting the stigmas that surround them. That's what our On the Sleeves campaign is all about, changing the dialogue about mental illness in our country. And furthermore, and I want you to listen to this, if Anna had cancer or heart disease, my insurance company would step up and aggressively cover her care. But if she had bipolar or depression, not so much. We've got to change that. All illnesses, no matter what they are, deserve the same support from their insurance policies and from government. We must change the payer system in our country. We must. It is about CEOs standing up, it's about governors standing up, it's about demanding that we think about this differently. So we're not simply going to wait. We're starting the conversation right here from Columbus at Nationwide Children's Hospital. We are opening this facility knowing that we're going to lose money, but we're doing it because it's the right thing. The right thing for the kids of Columbus, the right thing for Ohio, and if we do it right, it will be the right thing for kids across this country. But we're also going to start getting noisy. We're going to raise our voice. We want families facing illness, mental or physical, to know that they deserve to feel the love of their community and never be embarrassed. And as I said, we're going to raise our voices to CEOs, to the corporate community, to payers, to government to say we can do better. And let me tell you about those stigmas. When we made this decision 5 years ago as a board of directors, and thank you to our amazing board of trustees, the advice that we got is you can't raise money to support this issue. People warned us that donors would not give. They would be too ashamed. They would never want their name associated with the stigmas of mental health. Well, we said that big challenge requires really big answers. So we went looking for it. Ann Wolf, who's raised over $1 billion for the children of our community, has raised more money than any individual in the United States for children. Went looking for it. The love of Ann's life, John Wolf came to see me 7 or 8 years ago, and he said, I've got an idea. We need to buy a piece of property. It's a place that was an abandoned school lot. And I kind of scratched my head and said, well, we've got plenty of space here on campus. He says, no, I really think you need to plan for the future because I believe the hospital's on a great trajectory. And we bought this piece of property and we had absolutely no idea what we were going to do with it. Thank goodness that John Wolf is looking down and is proud that we bought this little plot of land and it is now turning into this. So we said big challenges require big answers, so we went looking for it. Just as several years ago, the iconic corporation of Nationwide made a transformative gift, at the time the largest gift to a children's hospital, today we celebrate a big answer to a big questions that came from Big Lots. They didn't dare shy away from a tough challenge. They didn't waver about putting their name on a building that is associated with stigmas. In fact, they said, let's change those stigmas together. They made the nation's biggest gift in the history of adolescent mental health, over $50 million, to help this come into a reality. That takes big leaders serving their community. Bruce Thorne, the CEO of Big Lots, is one of those big leaders that is setting the standard here in Columbus and Ohio about what corporations need to do in their community. I not only applaud his innovation in retail, candidly, the things that you are doing in retail pale in comparison to what you're doing in changing the world through this investment. The ability for leaders to look around corners and anticipate the next great lead is probably one of the greatest things that leaders can do. And frankly, it's the essence of greatness. Bruce, our city and our state are fortunate to have a citizen like Big Lots, and our world is fortunate that you're going to help us on this journey together. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the CEO of Big Lots who has answered the big challenge and is standing very, very tall with all of us in this journey to change the stigmas of mental health. Ladies and gentlemen, Bruce Thorpe.
Very much. Wow. What a very special and historic day we're all living today. Today we take our first step in addressing adolescent mental health as an opportunity. Today, we're punching that stigma right in the face. And this is a special day. You're all here for a reason. We are changing the future for so many people. And I've got to tell you, I am so proud and honored to be here representing Big Lots with all of you today and what we're doing. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Alex, and thank you all for being here today as we take another step forward in this important journey towards a better approach in how we treat mental health for children and, quite frankly, adults. At Big Lots, our mission is to be the big difference for a better life. We are a home store. We take pride in helping families build their lives around their home. And we know that good health is essential to the thriving family. We believe in doing good as we do well, that we give back to the communities that have given so much to us. It gives us all at Big Lots great pride to partner with Nationwide Children's Hospital to create and open the Big Lots Behavioral Health Pavilion. Central Ohio is our corporate home. It has nurtured our success for more than 50 years, and we are grateful for that. It is also the home to our associates from one of our 5 distribution centers and our headquarters, and we are only as strong as our team. We have the best team. Our associates, our vendors, and our customers make all of this possible. It's the work that we do together that amplifies the impact of our giving. This team effort began with my predecessor, the former CEO of Big Lots, Mr. David Campisi. He stepped into a space where no one wanted to go and championed a cause. We're proud to build on that commitment. David joins us today. David, will you please stand so that we may recognize you? It's also leaders like Teresa Hudson, the store team leader from Big Lots Store 5388 in Owensboro, Kentucky, and her team. Over the course of the last 5 years, this team consistently placed among the top finishers in our point of sale donation campaign, the last 3 years taking first place. Asking for $1, $2, and $5 at a time, Teresa's team has raised more than $82,000 for the pavilion while sharing the mission of Nationwide Children's Hospital for our customers. This pavilion is a resource for our communities, built by our communities. Teresa and her management team are here today. Please stand so we may celebrate you, Teresa. You know, just a few weeks ago, Tim Robinson and myself, we paid tribute to Teresa and her team at Owensboro, Kentucky, and visited them. And the energy that Teresa and her team brings to the fray is absolutely remarkable. It's unbelievable. Teresa, 5388 team, I'm so proud to be your teammate. Thank you. Nationwide Children's and the Pavilion are incredible resources for our community in Central Ohio. The Pavilion gives young people here a unique place to grow and heal. And it can be the kind of good that transforms lives. While Teresa's story is unique, she's not alone. Big Lots has over 1,400 stores in 47 states, Our 35,000 associates make their homes throughout the United States. The Big Lots Foundation works to strengthen those and many other communities as well. As a Center for Mental Health Research, the Big Lots Behavioral Health Pavilion will also help young people in those communities. Because in addition to a center for care, it's a center for research. What we learn here will go everywhere, because that research will be shared and other mental health providers can learn from it, and children across the country can grow and heal as well. That's the Columbus way. Big Lots support for the Pavilion supports all the places we do business and all the places our team members live. Big Lots wants to change the conversation around mental health and break the stigmas that are barriers to healing, but we can't do this alone. My call today is for everyone to look at this need and think about what they can and should be doing to help address it. We need to leave behind the old notions that there's something awkward about mental health. We need to break the stigmas that hold so many back from seeking treatment. And then when they seek treatment, there needs to be places for them to go to receive quality care as part of the supportive community. We have such a place now in Columbus, and the Big Lots Company is honored to be part of it. My hope is that what happens here will spread and that every child in America will have the same high-quality resources for care if they need them. Ohio is on the map as a leader in pediatric behavioral health. It is an honor to share the stage today with Ohio Governor Mike DeWine, our state's 70th governor. His approach to early childhood, K through 12, health care and foster care are all innovative and testaments to his compassion and courage to act for those children who need a champion. Thank you for your leadership and example, Governor DeWine, and thank you for being here today.
Bruce, thank you very, very much. Today is just a great day for Ohio's children. As governor, I wanted to be here, Fran wanted to be here to say thank you to everybody who's responsible for this day, to the Big Lots team, the Big Lots family, the Nationwide Children's family, all the others that you saw on the screen. This was not a logical decision. Talked to some members of the board of Nationwide. No one looked at this and said, okay, we can go make money and we can go fill this void and we can do this. This is a gutsy move. And I want to thank the board for doing this, for the leadership for doing this. I got to say something about Ann Wolf, whose vision for Nationwide and John's vision for the Children's Hospital has been so strong and has really carried us for decades. So thank you. We face a behavioral health crisis with our children in Ohio today and across the country. I can't think of anything more tragic, more gut-wrenching than a family that suffers the loss of a child to suicide. The numbers are just staggering in Ohio today. The only way to fight back is what we're seeing today, and that is bold action, that's thinking big, that's doing things differently. It's a real focus on removing stigma. So Megan, thank you very, very much for being here and helping us understand. It matters a lot. None of this was easy. But we are here today because so many people thought big. So many people had the guts to do it. I want to thank the members of the state legislature. There are a lot of them here today, because last year they also thought big. and thought differently and did something that I don't think has been done anywhere in this country. And that is to provide a very significant amount of money and send it out to our local school districts across the state. And not telling them exactly how to spend it, but saying that this money needs to be set aside for wellness. This money needs to be set aside to answer what teachers continue to tell me and tell all of us, and that is, I can teach, kids can learn inside that classroom, but what goes on outside the classroom is the challenge, or what does not go on outside the classroom. And so these wellness dollars are now starting to be used across Ohio for mentoring programs, for sometimes clinics right in the schools. Sometimes it's being used for mental health counselors to help identify young people who are having a problem and identify that early on. So I think this state is focused on this huge, huge challenge and this huge, huge problem. And I'm very, very excited about that. Today is a great day. Today is a day to celebrate. Today is a day where we look forward as a state and deal with a major, major problem that we have, but we're dealing with it head on. And we're talking about it. And we're saying, yes, this is a challenge. Yes, this is a problem. And yes, we are going to do something about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you for those remarks, Governor DeWine, and thank you for your commitment to improving the mental health of Ohioans and Ohio's children. It's the dedicated commitment of leaders like you and Bruce Thorne that make hope possible, and on behalf of our patients and families, thank you. Though it has a single mission, the Pavilion will serve each child and adolescent in a different way. When we opened today's program, we spoke about bringing children's mental health from darkness to light. This takes all of us coming together. Now please join me in welcoming some special voices to set the stage to put this message in perspective.
Shame. It holds back children from seeking help. But no one should be ashamed of illness. I'm Erica Clark-Jones, leader of the Alcohol, Drug, and Mental Health Board of Franklin County. Please join me in lighting a path from shame to resiliency so that no one is afraid to seek the help they need.
Suicide. It has impacted our family. My name is Ryan Day, and my wife Nina and I believe in the behavioral health mission of Nationwide Children's, the On Our Sleeves movement, and the Big Lots Behavioral Health Pavilion. Please join us in choosing to be a light of hope so that children and families can heal and live.
Silence. Too many young people struggle along with mental illness because they do not know how to talk about what they are feeling. I'm Camila Twyman, and I'm the School and Community Services Coordinator here at Nationwide Children's. Please join me in supporting more education about mental illness so that the light of learning can replace silence with help.
Stress. Mental illness can also lead to frustration and anger at school, in friendships, and at home, all of which become barriers to learning and growth. I'm Stephanie Patton, the head of school for Columbus City Preparatory School for Girls, and I am here representing school teachers everywhere. Join me in lighting a way forward to more access to mental health services so we can replace stress with love and support.
Statistics. 50% of all mental illness begins by the age of 14. 1 in 5 children have a significantly impairing mental illness. Suicide is the second leading cause of death between the ages of 10 and 19. There's only one child psychiatrist for every 18,000 young people. I'm David Axelson, Medical Director of the Big Lots Behavioral Health Services here at Nationwide Children's Hospital. The light of progress can turn these numbers around so children and adolescents can get the care they need to heal and thrive. Thank you for all being a partner in this important work.
Stigma. If there's any place tougher on self-esteem than a playground, it's the halls of a high school. Adolescence is challenging enough. Mental illness and stigmas that surround it only make it harder. I'm Heather Smith, and as the parent of a child living with mental illness, I know the damage caused by ignorance and fear. But I also know that when we work together, our compassion can shine a light on the darkness. We can break stigmas and create a community that embraces and accepts those in need.
We each have the power to be the light of change and hope to children and families who are living their lives with mental illness. These words on the screen and the other realities they represent don't need to be all there is. We have new resources, new approaches, new facilities, talented people, and your help. We will change the picture. Thank you to each of our speakers for your powerful words. Now I'd like to invite our presenters back to this stage. While they are doing that, if everyone could stand. Please pick up the light sticks that you're holding.
By pressing the white button on the bottom, please join me in turning on your lights, raising them high, and joining me in the countdown to our dedication. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
With this moment, we officially dedicate the new Big Lots Behavioral Health Pavilion here at Nationwide Children's. Your support and your own commitments to breaking stigma can change the conversation around mental health for all children. I'd love to thank Donna Teach and the marketing communications team here. Just put this wonderful show on. Thank you, Donna. Thank you, team. We will now be offering tours. Please join us at the back of the tent if you'd like to join us inside. Thank you all for being here. It's been a wonderful day. Thank you.